baax. dafa aju GRS nii la waroon demee sax.
Test, test.
Okay. Is it coming? Hello, hello, hello. Sahel Entertainment. Is it okay?
kii nii la Emel li xew waaw next time dinaa ko wax dégg nga ana Aïcha ñu ne ko mu test mic yi Aïcha jotut mic yi
Doctor is here. We are only waiting for Sankano to come.
Apologies, we are waiting for the minister. He said we go ahead. You know, if you want to wait, it's longer. Are you set? Apologies. Just a circumstances beyond control. Well, state machinery.
You have to wait because everything is set.
Good. How many more minutes? Good. I did that already. Tired of apologies. Now we're waiting for them. Okay. You ready? Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the COVID-19 Media Corps. Thank you very much. It's nice to have you. On behalf of the National Health Emergency Committee and the Risk Communication and Community Engagement Team, and on behalf of the Director of Public Health Education and Promotion, Mr. Modunjai, I'm sharing today's meeting. As you know, every day we come here to update you on the situation. Allow me to invite Dr. Mustafa Bite, Acting Director of Health Services, to present today's situation report on COVID-19, on our national COVID-19 response. Dr. Bite.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sankano. Good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. So I present the 25th National Situation Report since confirmation of the first case, 17th of March 2020. So all 5 new laboratory test results received from the Medical Research Council laboratory are all negative. 5 additional people are taken into quarantine. Of these newly quarantined, 4 sneaked into the country and 1 was close contact of one of the recently confirmed cases. So currently, the country has 6 active cases and 1 probable case. Globally, since 31st December 2019 and as of 14 April 2020, a total of 2,004,991 cases of COVID-19 have been reported. Of these, 126,830 deaths were registered and 485,830 recovered from the disease. Senegal has recorded 299 confirmed cases, 183 recoveries, and 2 deaths. Currently, we have 61 people on quarantine in one of the hotels in the Greater Banjul area. A total of 298 cases were conducted, and 9 were positive. 254 people have completed quarantine. 241 contacts have been traced, and 310 people completed follow-ups. So updates on the coordination, case management, logistics and security, laboratory and surveillance, as well as risk communication and community engagement are the following. So daily coordination meetings ongoing at both the strategic and the technical levels. Decision has been reached to test all persons in quarantine before discharge. For laboratory and surveillance, regular follow-ups of all persons discharged from the quarantine are ongoing. And in terms of case management, psychosocial support officers have been redeployed to the regional rapid response team to strengthen operations. Public health facilities in Western 1 and 2 and 3 private facilities, Medicare, AfriMed and Buffalo, received trainings on IPCs and case management over the weekend. In the area of logistics, 500 gallons of bleach, 500 soap powder, 1,500 laundry soap bars, 3,200 hand washing liquid soap, 140 washing pans and waste chambers, and 25 megaphones were received. 10 motorbikes have been received from UNFPA to support surveillance and contact tracing. 300 overalls and 4,800 tablets of azithromycin also received and will be used accordingly. So distribution of 420 sprayers, 420 are 20 liters, and 820 rolls of red waste bags, 420 packets of surgical masks, 420 tins of chlorine, 1,680 packets of surgical gowns, and 2,520 packets of soaps were distributed to all health facilities. For risk communication and community engagement activities, using dialogue with opinion leaders, district authorities, village development committees, media briefings, TV and radio programs on COVID-19 preventive measures are still ongoing. The public is still using the 1025 toll-free number to inquire about COVID-19 and its related activities or cases. Regarding our next steps, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with partners, will intensify the following actions. 1. To review and implement national quarantine SOPs as a matter of urgency. To strengthen community surveillance in all regions with undesignated border areas, especially in some villages in the URR, which border with Senegal. And encourage public reporting and self-reporting of suspected cases through the toll-free line 1025. Finally, I would like to thank Gambians for the patience and understanding during this trying moment. I would like to conclude by commending religious leaders, both Muslims and Christians, the private sector, and individuals for their continued support in the fight against COVID-19 in the Gambia. In addition, we would like to appeal to market vendors, shopkeepers, restaurant and bar owners, saloon and barber shops, private and commercial vehicle owners, as well as motorcyclists to adhere to the state of public emergency regulations and social distancing. Together we can fight against COVID-19 in the Gambia. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa Bite, for that excellent update. Ladies and gentlemen of the COVID-19 Media Corps, the floor is open for questions. Your name and media organization, please. Yeah.
So the question I want to know, because I read in the news that in South Korea, some people who are already here, so I don't know whether those that the authorities already removed, those who are here, whether there are any mechanisms in place to make follow up as to whether they can also get some positive. The other one is about the face mask. There have been like 2 or 3 groups of people in the country. One that is using the face mask, another group that is not using, and perhaps one group that is confused because there is no official statement as to what we should do at this stage, now that we have about 9 confirmed cases and 6 active. So I want to have the official version as to what we should do. Most of journalists that are always going to the market and meeting all these people, what do we do? Put it under doing. And the third one, if we can have the authority from the health ministry to confirm on air, because the samples are on, as to what fixed time we can be having this test visit. Because we've been discussing this 4:30, 2:30, and it will end up coming 6 o'clock. So maybe when we have it on air, probably that will come in the ministry and stick to that time. So that is the request. Thank you very much.
I invite Dr. Bite.
So thank you very much. You've been doing a lot of research. So good questions, because this disease, as we said, is novel and a lot of things are coming. Most of the time, if you have a viral disease and you've gone through the process, you develop some form of immunity and you will not be that much at risk. But that's not what we are seeing with this disease. And you are seeing that because maybe it mutates very fast or what. So even people who've been tested positive and undergo through the process, now tested negative, we are seeing reports that they are becoming positive again when tested. So it brings into question many things. It's one, probably like there are different forms, like the vaccines. The way it works is that we give you antigens of the virus, and then you develop the antibodies to be able to fight it. And then so once you get exposed again, you get these antibodies, and so that's how the vaccines work. So sometimes if you have a natural disease like this, you can have that type of natural immunity. But we are seeing them getting reinfected again. So it questions, one is the tests that we are doing, were they really negative? Because the duration is very short. These people who've been infected in a short period, and they said they were cleared, and then they are getting reinfection. So is it that the test was really a good test? And we believe that that's the case. So what conclusion you can draw from that is that you are not certain that you are having the immunity status. So if you get this disease and you are cured, it doesn't mean that you should now be certain diseases. Once you have them once in your lifetime, you develop the immunity, and once you get another infection, it will not disturb you because you would have had the immunity and all. But this one, what you are seeing is that you can be reinfected. And so if you are cleared from quarantine, if you had the disease and you go and you are cleared, that doesn't mean that now you are a free person. You can go and not do social distancing and all. I think that's the message from that. And like we said, this is a new disease, and the data that is coming usually is not enough even to make very conclusive universal decisions like that, because the numbers are not that big for these type of things that are happening. So what we are advising based on those type of information is that if you are cleared from quarantine or you are cleared from the treatment center, it doesn't mean that you are protected 100% and you might not get reinfection. About the mask is also another good question that even in the scientific world, we are debating it. You have, for example, the WHO saying that it is only when you are, for example, sick or coughing and all that you wear it, and if you are taking care of sick people. If you look at the guidelines, I think last time we shared it with some of you, and you can see even for health personnel, if you are at the triage and you are 1 or 2 meters away, a mask would be enough. And in the general public, it's not encouraged, because even the mask, how you wear it, how you put it on, how you don't put it on, if you are not trained on it or you don't know it, you could be reinfecting yourself. Soon after this coronavirus, I saw people started wearing gloves, and you use the same glove to do a lot of things, to open the door, to do that. That's not the essence of glove. So then, if you don't understand how to take care of it, it's also a problem. So WHO recommends that, but there are new data coming from other places who are recommending that it isn't adequate. I think it's the CDC and many others coming to say that, masks should be for everyone, So, but generally what we agree on is that if someone is coughing, that's universal agreement, that if someone is coughing, he needs to wear a mask. And if somebody is taking care of sick people, he needs to wear a mask. So there is some controversy, and us as a country, we will take a decision. So we will look at all the evidence and look at what is best for our people, and then you have a group of scientists or senior people who will look at this and then come with a position based on. But as of now, what we are going with up till now has not changed. That is, we are going with the WHO guideline. We are aware of these new guidelines that are coming depending from each country. But what we are also emphasizing is the cough etiquette and needs to continue. That is, you don't cough on people. You have to make sure that if you are coughing, you cover your mouth and all that. So that needs to continue. But an official decision regarding that will come on board. We have official, for the changes. Right now, we are going with the WHO guideline. That has been what we've been going on for now. And that is those who are sick should wear the mask. It's not for everyone in the public to wear the mask, unless if you are sick or you're taking care of sick people. It's not, what we are emphasizing is the social distancing. Yeah, but we are aware of these evidences, and we will assess it and then come out with our own also. So for your third point, I think you want to buttress it, but I think we will always apologize for this, and we are trying to see how we'll work on that to make sure it is better, and we improve on that. But as we go, I cannot give you a definite answer now on that we can tell you that tomorrow 10:30 we are doing some rescheduling, and I think by next week Monday we should be able to have a system where we will be a bit more certain about the time. But like the minister said the last time, you have to understand that there are a lot of things going on, and this is a fight. You can have a lot of things coming on, and then you might not meet the time that was allocated for. So that's why we apologize profoundly for this.
Yes, I have a question. My name is Rafi Sabra, and I work for the Gambian Talents TV. But my question, I prefer to speak local language that is Wolof. Tey dama demoon si góob bi waxtaan ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy ci mag yi ñoo xam ne seen bët yi du ñuy gaaw a gis ñoom nag wax nañ ne social distance bi am nañ ci problème bu baax a baax, parce que ku dul gis dafa am koo xam ne moo ko war a jàppal pour mu mun a gis. Yéen ministre bi lan ngeen a def si ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di visually impaired, maanaam ñi nga xam ne silmaxa.
So social distancing dañu encourage ñëpp pour ñu def social distancing, moo nekk ñu mais nuñ sori wante tuuti. I think ne fuñ mun di nekk mun neenoo try whether silmaxa la and all, su nekkee keneen mu ngi laa dimbale mi ngeen make sure ne kooku mu xam ne dañ war a sori wante tuuti lu egga 1 meter ba 2 meter. Looy wax nii lu am solo la, neen seet naka la noo jokkoo ñoom pour gën leen a guide on that, waaye ñoom tamit mun nañoo call suñu amee waaye comme quoi is something lu nga xam ne mun nañoo dem foofu explain leen ne lii bàyyiwut kenn parce que social distancing bi daf ñoo dimbale ñun ñëpp so comme su nekkee ne yaa ngi use banta bi am na ne na jafeñ waaye kuy jiital nit ki su xamee affaire yi social distancing den dina fenqa benn méthode bu nga xam ne dina ko dimbale bi nga xam ne den try bu ñu wàññi buñ ko fànqa daal still ñu def social distancing the other thing mooy képp ku nga xam ne tamit ñu ngi jànkuwante problème yi gis baax na moom tamit mu xam mu gàttal tànkaam comme bu mu dem si place yu nga xam ne nit yi dañoo bari parce que mais bi moom du mun a notice ne ñeneen ñi ñu ngi ko jegeeñ torop and then so baax na mu so as much as possible su gàttalee tànkaam fu nga comme ñun ñëpp rek lu ñu war comme ñu ne ñun ñëpp benn leen just dañ am utee si comme ni ñoo gisee ni ñoo déggee o ni ñoo xelaatee waaye ñun ñëpp la suñ wargal pour ñu ensure ñëpp à safe so even ñu nga xam ne nekkuñ di dégga o seen xel yi méttuut o ñun ñëpp societies wargal la pour ñu fekk soone social distance bi ñu ngi ko observe they are not at risk nit yi expose suñu leen torop pour ñu am problème si nii so lii am na solo ñan try ñu seet nuñ jokkoo gaay pour seen teexa yi ñu xam ko ba pare try pour support la incha sa wax bi am na solo ba pare comme lii nii lu nga xam ne la luñ waxtaan la ba lu bari si National Assembly bi so loolu National Assembly bi dem neen fa ba pare waxtaan yi rek moo fa doon génn mooy ñëpp ñu nga xam ne suñ tëj nguur gi yëpp tëj fu nekka te duñ mun a am luñ lekka duñ mun a am luñ naan naka la leen nguur gi di toppatooyee so National Assembly ñu ngi xool lool Ministry of Finance moo tax nen seet yan jéego la gaa di jël dafa am banxaas su nekka yu nga xam ne ñoo responsible pour make sure ne dineen bàyyi xel loolu yëpp pour nu ñoo toppatooyee gars yi nga xam ne su problème bi xewee ñëpp ñu nga xam ne ñu ngi am jànkuwante lekka jànkuwante naan amuñ courant ay yooyu so nguur gi na bàyyi xel naka leen ne toppatooyee tamit so ñu am na ay jéego yuñ see jël incha allah.
Final question for the gentleman.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Badi, for starting. Considering the misconception about COVID-19 and the denial, how effective is the contact tracing? Linking the yesterday's press breakfast of some people that have tested and still denied, probably it might be difficult. But how effective is the contact tracing to link these people to as needed?
I don't understand the link between the contact tracing and the denier.
Yeah, because already there are people within the community that don't even believe that COVID-19 is in the country. Yes. And some people had a misconception that we are religious people, and therefore if you had a faith belief, probably even if you come in contact with someone who had the virus, the person will not get it, or you will not get it in that aspect. How effective is the contact tracing?
Is it social distancing?
No, the contact tracing itself. Like people who have actually been suspected to be positive.
Yeah.
How effective to answer? For example, if today, also has it, I work with the Star TV. I'll get in touch with Moody, I'll get in touch with X and Y and Z. Probably, if you come to only Star FM, you might not go to my family. And these are some of the things that I work with. Is it that you're going to look at holistically all the people that have come in contact with the suspected person, or you're only targeting the people that POC spends most time with?
Well, okay, very good. So yeah, that's the idea. The idea of the contact tracing is to identify the people. So usually it's some steps. You need to know the place. There is a step you go backwards. So you got to know that this guy is positive today here. So you have to go back, retrace all his steps until you. So in the process, you guide them, and it's like taking history. So you have this. So since this thing happened, where have you been yesterday, day before yesterday? Where are the place? Did you go to Eningente? Did you go to this? Did you go to that? And then you get to know all the people he has close contact with. When you came back, for example, who hugged you, you get into all those details, the nature of the contact. what type of contact was it? Was it just a brief one? Was it a deep one? And all those things. Were you in the same bed? Were you not in the same bed? Or was it just in the same room? Or was it just in the same mosque? You were just in the same mosque, but he was in the same. You try to retrace all the steps until you get all the data, and then you list them. So you list all the possible contacts. After listing all the possible contacts, then you identify them and try to get them. So it's like an investigative job. So it's just like maybe what the intelligence officers do or what the police does. So, but this is not negative. This is geared towards spanning out who are the possible contacts. So that's why they talk about contacts and contacts of contacts. They don't stop at the first step. So the first layer is to deal with you and all the possible people you've contacted. Then after that, they go to the next step. And the next step is to see those contacts whom they have contacted. So then they have a second layer. So that most likely, the people you contacted, there might be somebody positive. You still go to the next layer to see on the others also who contacts of contacts. So it's a detective means of trying to get them.
One question and we do a wrap up for the day. Thank you very much. We got the news, but this one is going in stages, So I mean, their pledge or their support is coming in stages. The 6 is just the beginning from our understanding. So it will be rolled out to other facilities based on the volume of the support. Just to emphasize on the question about timing, you have to understand that we are following the due process, and as Doctor mentioned, there are standard operating procedures. I mean, whenever we wait for laboratory results and results from the various subcommittees, there is a task force that sit down, put together all what they call the situation report every day. And that one, it can take time. They can say, okay, 12 o'clock, but it can go up to 2 o'clock while we wait for other committees, because there are logistical issues, issues keep coming on. So if you say 12 o'clock, it might not be 12 o'clock because we're in an emergency situation and things are always fluid and dynamic. So just bear with us, and as doctors say, as of next week, we might be able to have a template that we can use for orientation. But right now, we cannot say tomorrow we'll have the press briefing at 2 o'clock when you know that laboratory results are not ready. So we have to always wait for laboratory results, for other technical information, and that's why the process takes longer. And also, because to have the political cover, we have to wait for the minister. I mean, he has to give us the approval for us, the junior staff, to come in and represent him, or he has to do it himself. So all these things are logistical issues behind, and you have to bear with us. We are in it together. We appreciate your support from the beginning, and then we are already working together, and then we are your partners in this, and then just continue to bear with us. We are improving every day. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Dr. Bitte. I appreciate. I've just answered. It's going to be stage by stage. The 6th hospital is just the beginning. What we know is a stage by stage. Even the health workers, they are going to distribute it in a way that stage by stage. We got the details, so that's not the end of it. So we'll come with specific. You say 6. It might be included another 6. It might be included another 10 by the time that the volume is experienced. And the money, when they say 12 million, this is the problem. It doesn't mean that AfriCell come with money bags and pour it. The ministry is always involved. At the end of the ministry is the lead implementing agency in our national response plan. Anything you have to do, it has to be blessed by the ministry, and the ministry is the one that decides on need basis. And we discussed that in the National Assembly. It was raised. So let's start with 6, and we have to look at the logistics, and then we roll it out based on the volume. And it doesn't mean like the 12 million is coming as rain, because when people hear no money, they think that we are swimming in dollars. Well, that's not the case. On that note, thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.
No, why some of them are not observing social distance? 12 million people.